Hello everyone and welcome to our Lunch with the Kletta webinar. I'm Kevin Maguire and my role at Kletta is that of growth and customer success. I'll be hosting today. With us also is Kletta Pioneer Partner, Gill Fitzpatrick of Accounting Insight. And later on we'll hear from Gill about how she became a Pioneer Partner with Kletta. Gill, would you like to say a few words about yourself and your business, please?
Yes, hi. As Kevin just said, Gill Fitzpatrick. I own Accounting Insight Limited, and we are fundamentally we major in bookkeeping, but over the years have morphed into more of a full service firm of accountants dealing with small and medium-sized businesses, both in our local area of Rugeley in Staffordshire, but also sort of the greater UK, and also a couple of clients who are maybe domiciled abroad but have income in the UK. We have quite a mix of clients between small sole traders turning over 30,000-40,000 a year, right up to £5 million limited company businesses that have been clients of mine for forever, really. I've been in business 15 years as Accounting Insight, and we got involved with Kletta about 18 months ago through one of my colleagues, and have been there from the beginning, really, both helping them to develop it and point them in the right direction with regards to the rules around self-assessment, and also how it looks and the customer experience, and have clients who are on it use it and love it. So that's where we're at really at the moment, looking to help to grow it and to convert more of our clients and help sell it into other practices for them to also use it and love it.
Thanks, Gill. That's amazing. I'll leave it for Matty to give you your props and big thanks. Matty, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. So my name is Matti. I'm the co-founder of Kletta and the CEO, and in that role, steering our firm towards the bigger and bigger player into the accounting marketplace.
Thanks, Matty. Could you explain a little bit more about the Kletta mission?
Absolutely, thank you. Well, with the MTD looming, we made it our mission to create a toolkit for small businesses and their accountants to make everybody's life easier with the daily record keeping. So rather than the typical rush at the year end and the January 31st deadlines approaching. While MTD has been postponed, the needs of the sole traders and their accountants basically remain the same. So we are here to help with that, what we believe is an innovative and alternative approach for accountants to manage their sole trader clients and other small business clients.
Thanks, Matty. A little bit about myself. Having myself been a sole trader back in the day, delivering web design services, and also as a limited business, as a consultant, I understand the complexities of running your own business as a one-man band. More recently, I've been in the accounting world in B2B sales as automation solutions to finance departments for SMBs, AP automation and stuff like that. So I've experienced the real world pains from both sides as a small business owner and as the guy who sells accounting software to businesses. And as such, when I was introduced to Matty and the team at Kletta, I knew that enabling the sole trader to digitize would be an opportunity which I really wanted to help with. And as we all move forward on this journey together, I'm excited to play an active part. So, why Kletta? What makes it different? Well, traditionally, accounting solutions have been designed around the bookkeeping processes and placed in the hands of the sole traders, requiring periodic inputs from the sole traders as clients to complete the records. Whilst this works for more complex limited companies, These platforms are too complicated and too time consuming for the sole traders. Many are tradespeople working in their job and then having to set aside time to do the essential admin of quotations for work and simply invoicings to get paid, leaving little time to dedicate to keeping timely, accurate and up-to-date records. So Kletta has been designed for the sole traders around the daily and weekly activities of the self-employed business owners. And rather than leaving travel expenses to the end of the month, completing lines in a spreadsheet, which you, the accountant, have to decipher, we give the sole trader the opportunity to do it at that moment in time, and thus the record is created. Daily use creates good habits, and good habits equate to great accurate data for you to see within the practice portal. And this is what you're seeing on screen now. We think the key to success is to have a great intuitive app for sole traders and a fantastic, easy to use admin portal for practices. At Kletta, we believe we have created just that. Let's have a look at some of the features. So Kletta is a comprehensive toolkit for sole traders, which covers everyday needs of the sole trader, from invoicing and taking payments with the SumUp card reader, managing expenses via tracking and recording mileages and purchases, and keeping track of records to give a real-time overview of cash position, making ITSA easier, much easier for their accountants, saving you time, which you can reprioritize to help grow your business. As you can see from the feature comparison there, Kletta is a full feature set, which helps create more data records and needs less intervention and requests from you, the accountant, towards your sole traders. Let's move to demo. I'm going to hand over to Matti.
So this is the main page of Kletta. And as Kevin just mentioned, the objective of ours who have been developing Kletta is to create a simple, easy to use, comprehensive end-to-end solution for small business practice owners, primarily sole traders. Today, I'm going to walk you through the daily activities of Bob the plumber and effectively showing how Kletta can be used for accomplishing all the digital record keeping activities of his. Right. Okay. So what does Bob do first thing in the morning? Well, he will drive to the client side, and he's driving a car or van to which he can claim mileages. So we have created a neat tracking mileage feature, which has been built on top of the Google Maps. So in the beginning of the journey, Bob presses start. At the end of the journey, he presses stop, and then he confirms. And hence, the mileage claim is automatically created based on the actual route that he has driven. Simple as that. The alternative way of claiming mileage is to type in the starting location and the destination location. And then, as said, this has been built on Google Maps. So if you know how to use Google Maps, you can do that. And then the route will be calculated basically based on the shortest route between the 2 points. Okay, so on his way to the client side, Bob goes and do some shopping. So what he shall do is he will scan the receipt. Okay, now he actually goes to the restaurant, and actually on purpose I will claim this incorrectly so that we can change this later on while we are playing the role of accountant. So Kletta identifies typically the supplier, the amount, and the date, and let us categorize this on the cost of goods sold. And hence, the expense has been created and it's readily available for bookkeeping. As simple as that. Okay, so next, Bob will go and do a bit of a plumbing work in his neighborhood for the household client. So he will click New Sale, and after completing the work, he will select that it was plumbing service. For this work, he's charging for 1 hour and 45 quid an hour. So he adds that to sale. Asked from the client, how would you like to pay? Given that the client is present, client says, okay, I'll pay with card. So we have a SAMAK card reader connected to Kletta. And, client swipes the card in front of the card reader. And the sale is recorded. An income of 45 quid is recorded. And the financial charge, which is 1.69%, so the charge for SAMAK is automatically recorded as well. As simple as that. All right. In the afternoon, Bob will go to finalize his week while working as a subcontractor for a construction firm. Say that, okay, I will now charge for this week's work. I have been working 30 hours and I have agreed the standard rate of 35 quid per an hour with the construction firm. Then he remembers that, okay, I have supplied also some spare parts worth of 150. So I'll add also those ones into the sales invoice. And given that the work is done for the construction firm, they are in the scope of CIS. So we have enabled CIS for Bob, and Bob selects CIS invoice. And okay, then Kletta is asking whether it's an existing client. Yes, it is. We'll select Beta Construction for the demonstration purposes. We don't give further discounts at this point of time, and Bob has agreed 14 days as a payment term with Beta Construction. And here Bob could add additional notes, but for the sake of time, we can skip that. So the invoice has been raised and sent as an email attachment to Beta Construction. And if we click here, sale, we can see the sales invoice and the details. And as you can see, the CIS deduction has been automatically calculated for the service or labor part of the invoice. One of the neat things with Kletta and the unique things with Kletta is that you can use that with your bank account connected or without connecting the bank account. So basically now when Bob knows that he has received the money into his bank, he can go here in the bank feed and select the appropriate transaction and reconcile the sales invoice against that one. Or if he hasn't connected his bank account, he can just go in the sales, click register as paid, and then the income is recognized for the date when he clicks that. So hence it's basically a cash basis accounting. Finally, we have created an easy to use summary where Bob can drill down to individual sales or individual expenses and can see, for example, an overview of his CIS deductions. Finally, we have a neat in-app chat function, which I'm actually going to demonstrate while I'll play the role of accountant in a minute. The key point here is that assuming Bob will charge his clients always through Kletta, raise invoices, take card payments, take cash payments, and claim expenses. And if he's using a vehicle, claiming mileages, all the business records will be created automatically and they will be readily available for the self-assessment. All right, I'll stop sharing from the app now and let us watch the same from the perspective of accountant. So here we are. We can see Bob's plumbing and overview of his income, expenses, tax estimate year to date and the profit or positive cash flow, and we could change the time period according to our desire. Furthermore, as an accountant, you can see all the business transactions for the bank account which Bob has connected to his Kletta app. You can see all the income line items, all the expenses according to their categories, mileages for journeys, sales invoices, and finally we have the tax profile where you can maintain Bob's tax profile, and then the reports, which is basically illustrating his business records in the format of self-assessment 103. And here you can download the file in the format that you can then use for using any of the bridging software for submitting the self-assessment. Going forwards, we will have also the self-assessment, filing directly from Kletta as well available. All right, so let's get back to the expense that Bob just claimed. So he did that for the cost of goods sold. So we'll see, as an accountant, you will review what has been claimed. You say, okay, it's Hampton by Hilton. It seems not to be a cost of goods sold. So what you can do is just write to Bob. Just quickly, let's make it quick. Hi, Bob. Then Bob gets a notification to his mobile. Hi. How is Hampton expense related to your business? And Bob recognizes, sorry, it's not. So now you know that it's actually not really like a business related expense. So you can simply go and change the categorization being non-allowable business expenses, and it was changed accordingly. So that being said, assuming that Bob does everything prudently through the app, there's basically very limited for you as an accountant to do before the self-assessment.
Yeah, thanks, Matty, for the demo and the drive-through of Kletta for accountants. We're all very excited to get Kletta out there and into the hands of our practice partners soon. But let's first discuss the experience of our current practice partners, and I'm delighted to introduce again Gill Fitzpatrick. Gill, we heard a little bit about your practice and how you came to be a pioneer partner with Kletta. Can I ask you another question? Dive right in and ask you, how are you dealing with the challenges that sole traders provide you?
Well, I guess the biggest challenge we ever have with sole traders is their ability to turn up on the 28th of January clutching 2 Tesco carrier bags containing all their receipts for the whole year, screwed up, folded up, still in envelopes, never opened. And I guess the idea of Kletta really is to try to avoid that, that they're actually getting into good habits of scanning those receipts every day as they go through the McDonald's drive-through, or they go to Starbucks, or they go to Screwfix to buy their supplies for that day's work, that they're actually taking the picture on their phone there and then and uploading it into Kletta, but they're keeping track of their mileage. That's another bit of a bugbear, that you get to the end of the year and you go, so how many miles have you driven this year? And they go, oh, well, probably about 12,000. Yeah, but do you actually have any records of where you went and who you saw? And is that 12,000 all business, or is that business and personal? So for us, we looked at this, that Kletta can definitely solve those sorts of issues with a lot of our clients, and get them into good practice for when Making Tax Digital does come in 2026. They need to start now getting into those good practices.
So I mean, we all love that. I mean, as I know, as a sole trader myself, and record keeping is difficult when you're actually doing the job. I mean, I mentioned that earlier in the opening statement that we made as well. We understand these problems. How are you using Kletta there to get people to actually change the way that they do things? Is that a challenge as well?
Well, I think a lot of small sole trader businesses as well, they probably they go out at 8 o'clock in the morning and get home at 7, 8 o'clock at night. I mean, been cleaning windows all day or mending cars or whatever they're doing, and end up on a Sunday having to sit down and do all their invoices for all their customers and send them paid. I think the big selling point for this is that clean a set of windows, raise the bill there and then, get the client to pay with some card while you're standing in front of them, or at least send the invoice to them there and then, so that your Sunday evenings aren't spent actually doing a week's worth of billing, that they're going to get some of their own time back, really, and they're also going to get paid faster, because a lot of people who receive an invoice actually will pay it on receipt, especially when it's a small local business such as your window cleaner. You owe them 15 quid and you pay it there and then, so they're going to get paid faster as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that adoption curve really that we need to push. I mean, we all understand the benefits of Kletta and daily record keeping. It's just that it's not been in the hands of the sole traders before. How then
I think this puts it into their hands, to be fair, that they're going to be far more in control of their business. They're going to get paid faster. They're not going to forget. They're not going to forget invoicing. That they've not written in their diary because they're issuing the invoice there and then. They're going to have accurate mileage records. They're not going to have forgotten receipts that they've not scanned. A lot of clients as well also tend to use their personal bank account. We are encouraging people to open a business bank account and keep things separate. If they attach the bank feed, so the bank statement's coming in every day, and they're spending money for their business from their business bank account, they're not going to miss any expenses like they do if they pay them out of their personal account. That's another big selling point, really.
Yeah, as you know, intimately, that we have capability to connect with lots of banks. And I think we've got some interesting developments coming down the pipeline as well about who we partner with going forward as well for those people who don't have business bank accounts. So that'll be something that'll be good for you guys from the accountant's perspective, because we all know that you love bank reconciliations and making your life ever easier. So you've seen lots of software. I mean, we had a talk at DAS the other week when I met you. And I asked the question about what software you use, and you told me that you use plenty. And you understand that software is a tool for better practice management. How do you see that evolving with Kletta? as we inevitably move towards making tax digital, as you mentioned?
I think for Kletta, it is the fact that it is aimed at the small sole trader under the VAT threshold, possibly never going to go over the VAT threshold. It's going to allow them to be more hands-on in their own business. And what I love about Kletta is that it is always evolving. You know, as we think of new things, it goes on the roadmap for future development. It is going to get better and better as it progresses and more customers come on board and they request more features. It's already full of features that the competition don't have, and I can only see that getting better.
Well, thanks so much for your help and fantastic contributions to Kletta as a mentor and also as a pioneer partner. I'm sure Matty wants to say something.
Thank you very much, Gill, for your sharing your great experiences and insights, and looking forward to continue our joint journey and looking forward to get new practice partners for Kletta.
So the Kletta offering, Martin, what we do for new partners outside of the model that we've been talking about is a fully supported 3-month trial where we support you in your, being onboarded, and we onboard any of your sole traders as well on your behalf. We've got an enhanced sole trader onboarding. So when you send them an invitation via your partner portal, they'll receive a welcome notification email from Kletta with all the assets that they need, how-to guides, and so on and so forth. If you want to be more intimate, more hands-on, and onboard your own sole traders, then we do this with a partner enablement program kickoff meeting, which myself and/or Matty will guide you through everything. We'll do this for you specifically next week. And obviously going forward, at scale, people can just go into their portal and they can fully self-serve if they need to. So what does this look like going forward in terms of business development? A Kletta media pack is enabling you to be able to promote your business using the Kletta logo, saying that you're a Kletta partner, and so on and so forth. And also what we're looking to build out, and this is something that's we discussed with you as well, Martin, the other week, is this sense of Kletta community that accountants can chat with each other within the portal. They can ask each other questions in supporting their Kletta endeavours, but also their professional endeavours as accountants and sharing best practice. So what are the offerings in terms of the commercials? Very easy, straightforward commercials. Partners are billed based on the number of active users per month. So excuse my simple maths here, but if it's £5 per user per month, for 10 users, it's £50. And if month 5 you've added another 5 users, then that will take that to £75. How do we bill? 2 options. You can set up a direct debit and a build, and you get a receipt for the monthly fee, or we can set up a monthly automated payment via Stripe. So next steps, we follow up this presentation with an email and the attached presentation that we've taken today, and the invitation for consultation. We sign up and start your 3-month trial, do the enablement session for yourself and for you to onboard your sole traders, and reviews at month 2 and 3 for feedback and support, and month 4 billing commences. Thanks to Gill, thanks to Martin, Matty for presentations, and our guests and colleagues as well. Thanks everyone.